Welcome to my channel. I am Monique Antoinette, and today I want to talk about Black women. We are God, and they're hiding it from us in plain sight. Like everything else they've been doing, right? Well, let's start by women. We are the portals to this earth. Without us, there's no entry into this earth.
I state that women had to have been created before men or formed before man, because you cannot get a man from a man. You cannot get a woman from a man, but you can get a man from a woman, and you can get a woman from a woman, and think about that. Any problem with that statement, that compound complex sentence? I don't have one.
They practice what they call Mayasuna, because they said in order for a man to know God, he must first intimately know woman. Contrary to this thing about celibate priests, they can't know nothing. Because if you ain't hooked up with the female energy, you don't know nothing. And this is why they said that. There was a scientific reason for that. And the scientific reason was this. When the young man was trained in manhood training, as the young woman was trained, and the young man was trained that when he had the privilege of going back to be born again, to go to heaven, as Dr. Yusuf Ben-Jojana said, the only heaven he ever knew was the vagina of the black woman. And that is the only heaven I have ever known. And believe me, I love being born again. Disrespect the intimate relationship between the female and the male energy. You couldn't have all this pornography and all this stuff and all these things they singing today when we were in our sane state. They wouldn't allow anybody to do that. The vagina of the black woman was paradise and was therefore sacred and could not be spoken of in a low way, was not permitted in our world then. And this went on for thousands of years. Now the priest said, when you have the privilege of getting in the spirit in the dark, of joining into the joy of heaven with a woman, you must practice what is called Mayasuna. And what was Mayasuna? It said that you, young man, must learn before you can be really accepted as a man, that when you have the privilege of being with a female, that when you come together, you cannot have an orgasm until the woman has reached every peak that she can reach. Then and only then can you join her. Now, what was the purpose of that discipline? Because they believed and taught that every time the black woman had an orgasm, she emitted an energy field. And as she emits that energy field, the male absorbs the energy field. It travels up his spine to the base of his brain, opens up his mind so he can receive the knowledge and wisdom of the universe. Way, and as Dr. Asa Heaton says, for African, older is better. Going back to the old way, we don't have sex. White people have sex. We have worship sessions. That is what we have. We are to get together with the meeting of the mind, with the meeting of the spirit, before you join the body. And then when you join the body, you can meet God in the atmosphere. That's the way it's supposed to be with us. white man don't want you to think that way about it. So when he attacks and invades your land, the first thing he does is to degrade the woman and the act of intimacy between the man and the woman, because he knows our power and our strength comes from that divine and sacred act. Therefore, we must put the act back in its proper context. And if you don't know what you're doing, go to somebody, elder or mother, who do know, so they can tell you what to do and do it properly, so that what we do in the midnight hour will give us strength to beat our enemy in the daylight hour. All right? Them Africans knew something. Those Africans knew some stuff that'll take us many generations to know. But fortunately, much of the knowledge that has been buried for the last 500 years is coming forth in great terms. It is bursting forth in the earth. It is because we'll need this knowledge to prepare to take power. And believe me, we are being called to take power. This white boy ain't gonna be around much longer.
Granted, we still need the male sperm, but what from Dr. Blair said and a few others, we don't. But I digress. We need men. We need men. Men need us. But my point here, this is about us. This ain't about them. This is about our power. Because it's been suppressed for way too long.
When Europeans decided we will dominate the woman and we will determine who the child is, and the child will come out under our name and we can buy and sell them on the market. And it's exactly what they did. And that's why you still have the struggle going on between the white feminist and the white male today. That has been going on for some 20,000 years. Some 20,000 years. All because he couldn't be a woman. And you'll find, if you'll observe carefully, in cities where you have a high homosexual rate, you also have a higher rate of what? Rape. Watch the statistics. Because rape is not a sexual crime. It's a crime of a male seeking to dominate a female. And often, homosexual males will do that because they cannot beat her, therefore they will dominate and debase her. That will happen. Then check that out. You live in a society that predicates what they do based on going to Harvard and Oxford, where these freshmen are called fags. You live in a society where in the upper crust, homosexuality is acceptable. It's just whatever your sexual preference is. Those low-class people don't understand. You look at the Greek society, you look at the Roman society. All that homosexuality. That is because within his heart, he wants to be two things that he cannot be. One is he wants to be a woman, the other he wants to be black. And whatever he cannot be, he turns on. And he figures if I cannot be it, the next best thing to do is what? Conquer it, pull it up under me, and destroy it. That's his psyche, that's how he thinks. And I'm not saying this to be mean or be a racist in reverse. If you don't understand this about him, you are on very unsafe ground. You don't know who you're dealing with.
We are sacred, spiritual, divine beings. And I want to let every woman know you are special. You are amazing. You are phenomenal. The things we can do, the things that we do that people don't see, we don't get applauded for, we don't get a pat on our back, we don't get a cookie. Why? Because that's what we do. We are the wisdom of this world. We are more than what meets the I. And I want us to stand in our power, own our power, feel our power, and exude our power. Because when we stand in it, baby, it's amazing. It's beautiful. But they hide it. They deny it. They downplay it. But we know. We feel it. We see it. Our mitochondrial DNA is very, very strong. And only the women bloodline carry it. It does not be passed on to the male. It's only the women. And that says a lot to me when you look in the DNA.
According to this article recorded in Newsweek, this African woman who lived about 200,000 years ago was codenamed by a group of scientists from Berkeley and Emory University. They codenamed her Eve, which means mother of all living. That's all. And they say that this woman that lived among a group of women who resided in the southeast portion of the mother continent. And where's the mother continent? That's right, probably called Akhebu land. This woman is the mother of everybody else on earth. How did they know that? The next exhibit. The mitochondrial DNA. All right, let's deal with that now as we travel the deoxyribonucleic acid trail, as we seek to rediscover the origins of humanity and the African woman's role in the generative process, in the genesis origin of things. Now, this is an artist's conception of the human cell. The nucleus of the cell has DNA, the genetic material which determines who and what you will be in life. Is a mixture of genes from both parents. That's from the paternal and the maternal, from the mother and the father. But the mitochondrial DNA is inherited only from the mother, and it is through the study of these that scientists were able to trace back the mother, back all human beings to this one human being, this one African woman who lived about 200,000 years ago. Modern human being, fully Homo sapiens sapien on the mother continent. You could not trace the paternal, but you can trace the maternal. Even today that's difficult sometimes. Mama always knows. As Dr. Ben say, I go along with the story. You know, she say, out of father, I go along with the story. Not that all women can't be trusted. He just says that as a joke. But you always know who mama is. And scientists have proven that fact. This mitochondrial DNA, this maternal deoxyribonucleic acid, is the one to which we can trace all humanity. And I'm reading from that article now and quoting biologist Rebecca Kahn of the University of Hawaii, who had formed a team there, and there was a team in New Guinea and Australia that got 147 women of Asian, African, and European extraction to donate their placentas to the scientific research. And in studying those placentas and the cell material in those placentas, the mitochondrial DNA in those placentas, they were able to trace the origin of humanity ultimately back to this one woman, this mother of all human beings who lived on the mother continent of Akhebu land. And she says this: most evidence insofar indicates that Eve lived in sub-Saharan Africa. She lived where? Land of the blacks. No question. The evolution from archaic to modern Homo sapiens, the scientific term for wise or thinking man, seems to have occurred in only one place. Your backyard, in your homeland. For some reason, Almighty God and the forces of nature decided that there was only one place on earth worthy for the development of humanity. And that place was your motherland, my motherland, Mother Africa. No place else was worthy for the development of human beings but this place, this one place on the planet Earth. That's something to think about. That's a wondrous thing to think about. And it makes me say every morning when I wake up and look in the mirror, thank God I'm an African. I'm not putting anybody else down. I'm just thanking God that I am an African, that I am a part of the eternal force on earth, the divine intelligence that created the planet Earth and decided that the right and proper place for human beings to begin to develop and to give civilization and spread it throughout the world is the mother of all continents, our cable line, Mother Africa. It's just a wonderful thing to be in Africa. And I thank God. Somehow maybe I could have been made something else. But I'm glad that the forces of nature said, no, we count you worthy to be in Africa. That in itself tells me that I have contained within my genes everything I need to do everything that I have to do. And as long as I understand this about myself, no matter what kind of obstacles they put in my way, I can say like the elder, trouble is in my way, but I'm going on through. Nothing can stop me from getting to where I'm going. Ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no river wide enough to stop me from getting to where I'm supposed to go. When we understand that about ourselves, they cannot keep us trapped in the conditions that we're in now. The only thing that keeps us trapped in that condition is our state of consciousness about ourselves. But when we know who we are, we can begin to consciously do something about changing the condition we're in.
And how we've been put down on the bottom of the bottom says a lot, because those are last shall come first. But if we're not feeling that godly power or even your goddess power, it's time for us to do some work and heal in order to exude our God energy. Because when you're hurt, you're broken, you're tired, you're exhausted, the things that deplete us, distractions, you are not in your God energy. And I want to differentiate the God energy versus the goddess energy. God energy is more, I know, I feel, I exude who the fuck I am. Goddess is the same, but subtle. But to me, when you're in your God energy, it's a mixture of both. Not saying one is lesser than the other. But when you say, I'm a God, you feel it versus saying, I'm a goddess. It's a different cadence. It's a more sexual exuberance to me. But I'm a Scorpio moon. But when you say, I'm a God, you feel the authority in it. Because we are that. We are parts of the Most High. And I really don't like using the word God because of the etymology. It's been tainted. That's why I don't like to call the Most High God, because I feel that's a lesser word for the Most High, the creator of all, the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful. And people don't like to hear that, but it all stems from the creator, all of it. Without the creator, we would not be here. I don't know. But I do know we are parts of Source, the Creator. So, to walk in your God energy, we have to do some work. So, you have to put on your big girl panties. Come on, because we all got to do it. We got to put in the work. And with that being said, we have to do some inner child healing. We have to heal the heart chakra. Work on our eating. It's so much that goes into this. And it's not that hard. It's just spirituality is a lifestyle. It's not a trend. It's not a fad. It's something you live by. It's something you do. And that's why they say ritual. It's ritualistic. It's something you do all day, every day. And don't be scared of the word ritual, because it has been deemed bad. Ooh, spooky, spooky. And it's so crazy. Everything they say is bad is good, which is weird. This world is like upside down. It's crazy. Anywho, we have to put in the work. Granted, it seems like a lot, but when you're doing it, it's not. Because it's about you. And it's for you. And it's investing in you. And when you love you, you don't mind putting in that work for you. And you see it pay off and feel it pay off. And you're not being triggered by things, and you're not so upset, and you're not so stressed out, not so worried. You let things go. You go with the flow. You follow your bliss. Follow the path that's easiest, with least resistance. It all sounds so cliche until the pieces start falling into place. But sometimes people need assistance with helping, with the puzzle. Some people ain't good at puzzles. I love puzzles. Not everybody loves puzzles. Some people need a little help, a little assistance. So, you're eating, not necessarily, but we all know the food is killing us. When you know better, you do better. So, fuck that. Fuck that. Change your food up. You gotta stop eating that horrible stuff. Try to cook for yourself. Take your spiritual baths or spiritual showers. Sage, meditate. Work with your crystals, or find your, well, it depends on your sign. That's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother video. Your sign is where your magic is at. Your zodiac sign. That's where your magic is at. Not in, well, it depends. I can't say in a spell way or not. It depends on your sign. But there's different forms of magic. You don't have to think, like I said, woo, spooky, spooky. Your magic, your light, your energy. It's you. It's in your makeup of your birth chart. But like I said, that's for another video. And if you want that video, let me know in the comments below. Go back to that saying. You're working on yourself, and you're aligning all your chakras. You're clearing your chakras. They're your energy centers. They're your energy spots within you. You cannot see them. They're in your auric field, though. Well, you can see them. Certain people can really see auras. But if you're not paying attention, you can't see them. So, do your self-care, your self-love. Affirmations. Or affirmations. Subliminals, You got to do cord cutting. Shadow work. It sounds like a lot, but when you do it step by step, and it unlocks more pieces to the puzzle, and you can't say you'll ever be done, because you'll always be learning. But I feel once you get closer to whenever your journey is over, the puzzle will be done. To each his own, or it might get done before that time. But we're all putting this puzzle together. Everybody's putting their own pieces together. So, why not help? Especially if you're good at puzzles. Don't mind me and my crazy analogy. But, self-love, self-care. All these things help bring the God out of you. It helps exude your God in you. There you go. That's the best word I'm saying. Ashe, the God in you. Namaste, the God in you. They weren't just saying these words. Which words? Or spells. Another video. Etymology is just... They've been fucking us with these words left and right. Anyways, digressed. So, back to what I was saying. Spirituality is a whole lifestyle. This ain't something you just do today and that's it and you think it's just gonna work. No, this takes time. Divine timing. And getting to know yourself and heal yourself is fun. To a certain extent. Granted, it ain't always sugar cookies and rainbows. God, dark night of the soul sometime. But anywho. These are the things that should have been put in place in schools for kids long time ago. Like, we should have been learning this stuff long time ago. We would not be where we are today. But we are here where we are today. So, let's utilize these tools to help us to be the best version of ourselves, to enjoy this experience that we're having here. Because we wasn't put here to suffer. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Granted, they use us for the things they use us for, which is sick as fuck, but that's not what the heck we were put here for. That's not what we were put here for. So, let's do the work so you can see the God in you. But also, I recommend people to watch Hidden Figures. That was a really good movie to see that we were the first female black computers, programmers, all sorts of things. That's a pretty good movie.
To illustrate the benefits of agricultural lifestyle as opposed to hunter-gatherer lifestyle. It was an African woman who created that for us, and we are very indebted to her for that. The world is indebted to her for that. She created an alphabet and mathematics, were first devised by the African woman, Set, or as the Greeks call her Isis, the mother goddess of ancient Kemet, is said to have invented alphabet and mathematics, which she taught to Jehuti, who the Greeks call Thoth. She devised scripts for writing, and she established educational and social systems. In essence, she was the spiritual impetus for all scientific investigation in the ancient world. We would have still been running around chasing food, trying to find ways to fill up our stomach if it had not been for our inspiration to move us to higher levels, to recognize our mental and spiritual being as people. And therefore, we began to grow and become more God-like, become more in tune with the creative force. The black woman was also the first builder of houses.
Being Lucy. Now, with Lucy, it's a drug that's released in her body, which is a pregnancy hormone, right? That speaks volumes, right? Because when I ended up pregnant, like, my hearing increased, my smell, my taste, like, my baby about to fall, I could catch him from a mile away. I'm diving, I'm Superwoman. You know what I'm saying? It's like, after your child, it's like you're slightly enhanced. And it's crazy for them to put that drug in a movie pertaining a pregnancy hormone. I did a little research. I couldn't find that it was a real hormone. I tried. I really think they have it, but you know how, it's not accessible to the regular folk. So, but it just also lets you know that as a woman, we are like super beings. I don't want to say like superwoman because we get that stereotype of like we can't be weak and we can't ask for help or need assistance. But we have like a extra abilities after our pregnancy, like it's enhanced. So, just I want, well, something to watch on. Something to watch, just to kind of show you we are more than what meets the eye. Granted, it's a movie, but as you're seeing, these movies are like semi-documentaries as you're seeing these movies come to light, okay? So, watch Lucy and Hidden Figures, and also, I will probably link the movies below for free, and just click the movie, exit out a few ads, and it's free. That's it. I recommend you watch it on a phone or something, not your laptop, because it could possibly give you a virus. Because they like to do little ad pop-ups. But anywho, free links to those 2 movies. And yeah, if you liked the video, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.